We are moving on with the Pete Walker The Flesh and Blood Show box set, with the third film in this set, which is The House of Whipcord, which was released in 1974, and this is Pete Walker's Women in Prison movie. Boy, this thing does not disappoint. Remarkably playing it straight, although it is etched in exploitation, this is a hard-hitting film and is going to lead into a depressive run of rather downbeat films from Walker.
I promise I'll never do it again. I'll eat one meal a day.
That's not to say these are bad. These are definitely a kind of step up in quality, I think. You definitely get more of a feeling of Walker and his cynical attitude towards the way life was in the 70s. This one is definitely having a prodding, poking feeling towards criminal justice within the country at this time. At the start, we meet a bunch of characters who are all kind of within the model world. We meet one character who gets picked up by a guy. He says, do you know what, well, let's go on a date. And when he picks her up, he's rather aloof, refusing to answer her, driving her out into the countryside, and he just seemingly throws her out in the middle of nowhere. Her character walks along until she discovers this building where she is brought in, arrested and put under charges.
You are here to serve sentence, according to the proper moral and disciplinary standards, for conviction of a serious charge.
And it quickly becomes clear that this old building is now being used as a prison where people are using their own sense of judgment. This is not government sanctioned. These are people making their own choices and doing some heinous things to these women held within the walls of this makeshift prison. It's bleak and it's hard and it's unforgiving, and even though you get this kind of rush at the start where one of the characters that we know is almost escaping from this place, it comes back later on in the film and still manages to shock me while I was watching this one. This is so horrifying, is the best way to put it.
You're gonna cop it this time, Manning, you see. You're gonna be sorry for what you've done to me.
It is an exploitation film where there is no escape for these women. They are often brutalised and murdered because of people's perception. And I feel it's wonderfully appropriate looking at this now and looking at the world we live in, where everybody is so judgmental and quick to anger, point fingers and cancel people, where we have this world here where we almost see it taken a step further. And that was a really kind of interesting aspect looking at it now, going back to when it first came out.
I was so afraid. I thought I was going to die.
I think you are dying, Tiffany, little by little.
And the performances are all great. Some of the characters here are truly, truly despicable people that you just hate, who almost have this sadistic streak through their authority or perceived authority, because they have the numbers, they have the building, and they have these young women worn down that they can do whatever they want with them. It's just horrific, and there is no glimmer of light in this whatsoever. It feels as if everybody's doomed at the hands of these horrendous people, and yet somehow it's a film that I feel was really great. It's one that I thoroughly enjoyed watching, but not... enjoyment's probably the wrong word. I'm glad I saw. I would go back and watch again, but my goodness, it's not a cheery Sunday afternoon type of film. It is hard-hitting and unrelenting.
Cut her down! Cut her down!
What purpose? She's been dead for some hours.
The House of Whipcord was a kind of step up in this series. After the Flesh and Blood show, this was a real jump in quality and storytelling and thematics, just about everything. And I feel as if this was a stronger representation of Pete Walker. Does make me a little bit wary about moving on to the other movies to see if they're going to be as nihilistic as this is. We will find out together. I'd love to know your thoughts on the House of Whipcord if you've seen it, so let me know in the comment box below whether you love it, hate it, fell somewhere in the middle, where you think it lands in Pete Walker's filmography. As always, there is more content up here. You can see more of my stuff. In the description box below are links to Patreon, membership program, and manvfilm.com, always in which you can support me. Thanks for watching. See you next time.